Mini skirt on, dip my body in glitter. Platform sneakers, all the boys want a picture. Two foreign cars, I make rich look richer. Save your breath, baby, I'm not going home with ya. Mini skirt on, dip my body in glitter.
Hello. You are now tuned into the A Little Bit a Lot podcast. I'm your host, Kristen, and welcome back to another episode. Oh my gosh, guys. I have missed you all so much. I've been on a break for a couple of weeks, and it has been a nice break, I tell you that. As much as I love podcasting, it's always good to be able to have a reset, a little refresh, rest to, just get rejuvenated and get your thoughts together. And I was also really busy because, like I mentioned in the episode before, I moved. So yes, I know you guys have been hearing about me moving for the past couple of months, and it finally happened. We are in our new place. If you're watching on YouTube, I don't have my setup completely right all the way. I don't know. I just hung my stuff up and I'm like, that's good enough. I'll, renovate it and upgrade it as we go. But right now it's just so much going on. I'm just let me just put something together real quick so we can get to recording, because at the end of the day, it's all about the chat, okay? It's all about the yap, okay? It's all about getting into the gags, and that's what we're going to do today. So thank you so much to everybody who stuck around and waited for me while I was on my break. You're a real one. So I just wanted to catch up, kind of tell you guys about what I was up to on my break. I went to go see FLO. For those who don't know, FLO are an iconic girl group from the UK, and I stand them hard, guys, okay? I do not play when it comes to FLO. They are literally my favorite girl group of all time. I saw them in 2023, I think that was the year when they went on their first tour, and that was incredible. And then this time I saw them again in Detroit, and I was also able to get meet and greet for the first time. So that was amazing. So I figured I'd tell you guys a little bit about that experience, and then also kind of just share with you the shenanigans that went on during my move. Because when I say that was literally one of the most exhausting days that I've ever had in my entire life, I'm not even kidding. And I remember I was talking to my dad about it, and he was like, oh, you mean you're maybe you're just just tired? And I'm like, no, I'm not exaggerating. When I think about what does exhaustion feel like, that's what I felt. And it took me, I would say, a good week just to physically recover, let alone mentally recover from the move, just because I just don't really do well with change. And me having ADHD, change can just be really overstimulating, and having to use your brain to make executive decisions and stuff like that is really mentally taxing for me. So it was all a lot. It was extremely overwhelming, and I'm literally glad that it's done and over with. And I still have quite a few things my clothes left to unpack, but I'm just trying to give myself some grace and just take it little by little, day by day. So for the most part, we up in here, okay? And it's been litty. Friday will make it a month since we've been in this place. And yeah, so I really do like it though. If you saw on Instagram at A Little Bit a Lot podcast, I posted a quick little tour showing you guys around on my story. Thanks to everyone who wrote and said that they liked it. This is definitely an upgrade from our last unit. So I just hope that I continue to just keep going up, and it's stuck. No Cardi B, you know what I mean? So let's get into the gags. Let's just get into the crazy times, because even my stuff leading up to the FLO concert was literally insane. So before we get into that, you already know the drill if you've been here. Okay, make sure you give this video a like if you're watching on YouTube. Comment down below, let me know what you think about the episode. And if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe. Yes, I'm almost at 700 subscribers, so I would really appreciate if you hit that button and turn those post notifications on. Okay, and if you're listening on Spotify, Apple, rate that 5 stars and leave a review to let me know what you think about the show. So we're gonna start off with the story about FLO, and then I'll talk about the move, because FLO was the most recent thing that happened. So the day that I'm recording this, the FLO concert was the night before. So it's been a crazy freaking 24 hours, I tell you that. But with FLO, like I said at the beginning, this was my first time having meet and greet with them, and then my second time seeing them in concert. The first time I had to go to Chicago to see them because they didn't come to Detroit, but this time they came to Detroit, which is closer to me. So I was like, yes, so glad I don't have to drive 4 hours away and pay for a hotel just to go see my girls. So FLO, if you see this, please make sure that you go to Detroit every time you go on tour, period. Leading up to the show, I was supposed to go with my sister, but she wasn't really feeling that well, so I ended up going with my boyfriend, which was cool because he went with me to the first show, and he's been a FLO stan since the beginning, just like me. So that was Clutchington. I'm like, great. I would have loved to go with my sister, but I also really, enjoy going to concerts and events with my boyfriend too. So we pull up to the venue. And I remember they said that the check-in for the meet and greet was at 5:30, and then the meet and greet was at 6, and then the doors open at 7. So we pull up to the venue, and it was at the Fillmore in Detroit. So as we're walking up to the venue, we see that there's two lines. There's one on the left side of the street, and that one is like right up against the Fillmore building. And then there's a line on the right side of the street. So I looked at the sign and it said like general admission on the left. So I'm like, okay, my VIP ticket came with a general admission ticket. So I'm guessing I stand in this line. So time passes and I'm like, okay, like what's going on? Like they said that the check-in was supposed to be at 5:30 and it's almost 6 o'clock now and the line has not moved. They're not letting us in. Like, what's the issue? What's going on? Like, I'm starting to get concerned because they said meet and greet would start at 6. It's almost 6. What's the tea? And then another one of the fans like comes around the corner and then they talk to the people that are in line across the street and you're like, oh child, like I wish I could have got VIP. And I'm like, oh. So then I asked the girl in front of me and I'm like, this isn't the VIP line? She's like, no, this is the general admission line. Girl, tell me why it's been almost 30 minutes and me and Juwan have been standing in the wrong line. So I'm like, oh, right. So then I cross the street, get in the line across the street. So I'm standing in that line, and then I talk to the boy that's like the last person in line as we get behind him. And I'm like, oh, is this a line for VIP, right? And he said, yeah. And then I asked him, is this for the meet and greet, right? And he was like, yeah. So I'm like, okay, like, we're finally where we need to be. So then tell me why, like, maybe another, 15 minutes pass by, and then there's this lady. She's walking around and talking to every person that's in the new line that I'm standing in and, like, asking them for their ID and their name. And then she checks it off with a highlighter, and then she gives them a lanyard. So I'm like, okay, great. Like, that's the VIP lanyard. This shows that I am in the right line, right? So then when she gets to me, she's like looking for my name and she can't find it. And then she's like, oh, like, did you get your VIP package from like a third party website or something? And I'm like, girl, no. What I look like getting a VIP package for FLO on a third party website? I don't F with that. You know what I mean? Like, it's Ticketmaster / Live Nation or nothing. Because I'm not trying to get got and get scammed. Like, are you serious? I go to the source material only. So now I'm starting to panic because it's like, girl, where's my name? You know what I mean? She flips the page over. She finds my name. I'm like, ooh. Woo, period. Because what the freak? And then she checks my name off. She gives me my ID back. She hands me my lanyard. And she's like, okay, great. I'm going to need you to come with me. And I'm like, why? Like, nobody else on the line, has to come with her. And she's like, and I'm going to need you to come, like, right now, like, run. And I'm like, why? And she's like, the meet and greet is almost over. And I'm like, what? So come to find out, the left line that I was standing in wasn't the right one, and the right line that I was standing in wasn't the right one. So we follow her in, we go in, and she's like, okay, quick. We get, scanned, and they check my bag, and then show them my ticket, and then she hands me my VIP merch bag, and she's like, okay, you could just walk, straight through those doors. And then we, like, go down inside the venue. And apparently, right at that point, it was like 6:25. Meet and greet had been started, like I said, at 6. So I was late to meet and greet, and she was like having me run with her because she was, like I said, really worried that I was going to miss it because it was almost over. So I guess that's on me, because then as soon as that happened and we finally like calmed down, I'm like out of breath because she just literally told me to run with her across the street, like into the venue. I'm like, dang. So I started thinking, and whenever they like, you have VIP, they usually like email you the instructions on like what you're supposed to do the day of, right? And then they also like text us like a copy of the instructions as well. And I read it several times. And I remembered that, oh yeah, it said that the VIP check-in was at 5:30 at the entrance. Right. So technically, I was supposed to go straight to the entrance, skip all those people in line, go straight to the entrance, check in for my meet and greet, and do that. But instead, I got out of the car, walked up to the building, I saw a bunch of people in line, and I'm like, oh, guess I'm supposed to be here. Like, what the freak? Like, why did I not think to go straight to the entrance like the instructions said? I don't know. But thankfully, that lady came clutch because the line that I was standing in was like the VIP that was like a tier lower than me. So I guess they had like VIP meet and greet, and then they had like VIP below that where like you get the same, what is it, tote, but you don't get the meet and greet. So I was like, oh my God, like I would have literally died. I would have literally died, guys, if I would have missed my meet and greet all because I didn't know I needed to go to the entrance. Thank goodness for that lady. And in the end, we didn't even really need to run because the meet and greet had like about like 20 people in line still. But I understand like she didn't know, how quickly the line was going. So she wanted to make sure I got there. But at that point, I'm already kind of irritated because it's like, dang, I'm overstimulated. Felt crazy because I didn't read the instructions right. Almost missed it, but we're here. But now I'm sweating. And I'm like, this is just great, right? Because I just have to run. I'm sweating. I have a full face of glam on. And I'm not trying to be all sweaty when I meet the girls and take my pic. Like, what? In the end, thankfully, I had my handy dandy fan. And also while I was in line, if those who don't know, at the Fillmore in Detroit, you can also get like a VIP seating. So they have like this like area by the bar. You can pay like extra money, like $40 per person to be able to like get exclusive access to like this little section. And you get like a table and you have like a little button on the table and you can press the button and the waiter will come and service you. You get like bottomless drinks and then you can order food. And it's a whole thing. So this is my second time like being at the Fillmore. So I'm like, I definitely know I want to get this like upgraded seat because the first time we went, I think it was for when I went to go see Ice Spice. I was standing in the general admission like area in front of the stage for like 20 minutes. My feet were hurting because we had already been standing outside for forever. And I turned around and looked at those tables and I'm like, how much are these tables? Like, how can you sit here? Because the tickets aren't listed on Ticketmaster. You can only get these VIP upgraded seats if you pay for them there. While I was in line for FLO, I upgraded my seats. I tell you that because even though my ticket already came with general admission, I'm not trying to stand down there all night, sweetie. Okay, I'm not trying to stand down there all night, pushing and shoving, people pushing up against me. No, I'll sacrifice sitting further back so that way I can be able to sit by the bar. Thank you. Because that standing for hours during a show is like, so I don't got it in me no more. I don't got it in me no more. If girl's almost 30, I ain't got it in me. So then hours we're standing in line for the meet and greet. Time is ticking. I'm getting closer and closer. Finally, it's my time to go up and see the girls. Mind you, my boyfriend went first because he was like, do you want to do the VIP like meet and greet together? And I'm like, no, I want to take my own picture. Like, I don't want you in my picture. And he was like, dang, that's shady. And it's like, I'm sorry, babe, like, love you down. But like, this is my ultimate group. Like, I want my own moment with them. You know what I mean? Like, I don't need another person potentially there, like, adding to a distraction. Like, I wanted to just be me and them. So he went first. And then once it was my turn, I walked up to them. All of them said hi. And then as I was like, hug Stella, and then I went to Georgia to go give her a hug. Stella was like, oh my God, I love your cute little earrings, because they have like a little UK accent, and I had strawberry earrings on, so they were like, love your strawberry earrings. And I'm like, oh, thanks. I was just like, nice to meet you guys. And they're like, nice to meet you too. And they were like, what's your name? And I'm like, Kristen. They're like, Kristen. And it's like, guys, the way that I was literally astral projecting, like literally wanted to throw up, like scream, cry, like fall to my knees just at like hearing them say my name was literally so Gagatron times 2000 that like I literally almost cried. And it's like, if you guys know, like I'm a concert girly. Like I go to it seems like a concert like once a quarter. So I have done a lot of meet and greets, and it's always fun, you know what I mean? And I always keep it together. But when it came to FLO, like I almost lost it, guys. Like at the end of the day, I was able to keep it P, I was able to keep it demure, but it was like a close call because they just mean that much to me, you know what I mean? So it was absolutely incredible. And then after they asked me what my name was, then I just basically told them that like how much I love them and how much I appreciate like what they're doing for, you know, the music industry, and how they're like single-handedly like making a positive impact in history when it comes to girl groups, and like changing, you know, the face of girl groups like as it is right now, you know what I mean? Like single-handedly like really doing a lot to contribute to the history of girl groups and R&B music, you know? And they're like, oh, thank you so much. And then I just let them know that like Access All Areas, their album, like I'm still bumping it like to this day. Like it came out in November 2024. Here it is. I'm still listening to it every day. And Georgia, Stella, Renee were just like, yes. And they kind of like mocked me because I was like, to this day. And I like put my hands down and like did this little hand motion. So they were like, period. So like they really felt what I was saying. And it just felt so nice because they were just like so attentive and, you know, just really like I could tell that they really appreciated and was taking in what I was saying. And they were just so sweet, you know? Then after that, I got ready to like, you know, go in between them so I could do the photo and take the photo for the meet and greet picture. And right before we were about to do it, then like Georgia stopped me and she was like, what song are you looking forward to the most for the show? And I was like, And I said, shoulda, woulda, coulda. And they're like, period. Like, she's got taste. She's got taste. And I'm like, period. Because it's like, I'm not about to get up there in front of FLO and be like, cardboard box. Like, no, I'm not choosing a single. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to go with a deep cut, like a song that I feel like is slept on. I feel like everybody needs to listen to FLO, shoulda, woulda, coulda. You know? Like, when you say one of the songs from the album that's like, not a lot of people talk about, I think that really impressed them. You know what I mean? So, and of course, when the show started and they did shoulda, woulda, coulda, I was literally living hearing that live for the first time. Like the freak, it was absolutely incredible, for real, for real. And then once my meet and greet was over, then I was like, all right, bye guys. Like, thank you so much. You know, like, nice meeting you. And then I looked at Renee and she was like, yes, bye, Kristen. And I'm like, I'm gonna sweet. I'm the chandelier, I'm the chandelier. Like, huh? 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 I will never get over it. And I, like, for those who don't know, Renee is literally my fucking bias. Like, she's my favorite in the group. So, like, being able to look her in the eyes and, like, seeing how Gorgina boots, like, death drop, like, defyingly, like, gorge, down, she is in person, like, absolutely had, like, my jaw on the floor. I genuinely wanted to pass out from her beauty. Like, oh my God, wow, like, baddie to baddie, baddie to baddie, or baddie, you know? Like baddie see, baddie do type things, for real. So yeah. And then once the show started, it was just absolutely incredible. Like, if you went to see FLO on their first tour and then compared to this tour, like, then you can say that you've noticed an improvement in like every single area of everything ever when it comes to them. Like, live vocals improved so much. Not like they were bad before, but it's like, dang, like, y'all are only getting better. You're literally only becoming more iconic. You're only becoming more legendary. Like, stage production, so much better compared to the last tour. And I thought the last tour was like incredible. Just even like their confidence on stage compared to the last tour, like, skyrocketed. You could just tell that they were just like so much more comfortable up there. Choreography was so cute, so on point. I just loved every single thing about that show. I was literally feeling euphoric the entire time. Like, I don't know. It was just seriously such a magical night. So shout out to FLO. Love you guys down. I had so much fun. So yeah, that's that. Also, like with my moving shenanigans, I guess we should kind of like tap into that just a little bit. Yeah, moving day was literally freaking crazy. Honestly, I feel like I was not as prepared as I should have been. Like I thought that I was prepared, but then the day came and I'm like, dang, I still kind of have like quite a few things to do. Like even like laundry. I'm like, dang, I still gotta like wash this load. So that was like really difficult. So the morning of when we were supposed to move, I got up and got dressed because we were supposed to be moving at 10 a.m. So obviously, that includes like going up to the office, signing your new lease, getting your new keys, all of that. We also had like some movers that we hired to come help us with the move and everything. So, we were on a time crunch because they said that they were going to be there between like, they said 11 and 1 or something like that. And so I got up, got dressed, and my boyfriend was like, "Oh, what are you doing? Like, you about to go to the store?" Because, mind you, the night before we moved, I literally was like already down freaking bad physically and mentally because I was stressing about the move, didn't go to sleep till later, and I freaking cut my hand on accident because I was trying to do something where I was like trying to like peel off this adhesive with this like shelf that we had in the bathroom in the shower because it comes with like the sticky adhesive and then you like clip the shower basket onto the adhesive thing and it's really hard to take off, so you have to like use like a hair dryer to like melt the adhesive a little bit and then to get it off. And then I was being impatient and trying to like pull it off when it wasn't ready and then accidentally like stabbed my hand up against one of the hooks, the plastic hooks, and it literally cut my freaking hand. And I like didn't have any band-aids or like anything, so he thought I was like going to the store to like get band-aids, and I'm like, no, like we gotta go up to the office to sign the lease. And he was like, oh yeah, like did you really think that moving would just be like, okay, we're going to the new unit and that's it? Like, how do you think we're gonna get in there? We gotta have the keys, we gotta go to the office to get the keys. Like, what? And then that's when the movers call us and they're like, hey, we thought we'd maybe come early. And we're like, the freak, we're not ready for you to come early. We have to go up to the office to like sign the lease and stuff. So we'll call you when we're done. So we go up to the office, we sign the lease, we do everything we need to do, we get the keys. And then I'm like, I need a Band-Aid, right? Because I can't do all, I can't move and clean up and do what I want to do for the day. And I have a freaking open wound on the palm of my hand, literally the worst place to get a cut. Like I would have rather like got a cut on my leg or something that like wouldn't have impacted my hands, on a day where I'm using my hands. So that was really diabolical for real. So we stop at like the gas station. I really wanted him to take me to like, I don't know, Dollar Tree, Family Dollar, something. But then he goes to Speedway. I'm like, okay. And then I go in there, get some Band-Aids and stuff. And we see the movers sitting right there in the parking lot of the gas station because the gas station is literally down like at the corner of the intersection by our apartment. So he's like, dude, they're already waiting for us. And I'm like, okay, the freak, like, I'm not about to rush what I'm doing just because they wanted to be early. Like, come on. So now he's panicking because he hates the idea of having these people, continuously waiting on us. But we still had some stuff that we needed to do back at the house before the movers came because I wanted to be able to like have everything like organized and kind of like sitting in one area so that way they could know what they were taking. Because we had a lot of things that we were going to have them take, but then we also had some things that needed to be part of like junk removal. So we didn't want them to touch that stuff. So we hurry up, we go back to the apartment, and then we're like organizing everything, getting everything ready. And then that's when he calls the movers. So he calls the movers come, and that part of the day was like the most like seamless, like smooth part of the day. Like the movers were clutching tin, they got everything we asked them to get, moved it, everything was a breeze. Once they were gone, that's when hell began, okay? Like, what? That's when we were like, okay, we need to figure out what we're going to do about the junk removal. Because the tea is, I'm not a freaking millionaire, guys, okay? Like, I ain't got it like that. So for you to, like, literally try to charge almost a whole month's rent for junk removal is absolutely astronomically diabolical times 1,000 because That's insane. Like, you want to talk about inflation station? That's truly the definition of what is going on right now when people are charging for services. Like, that is crazy that you guys want that much money, almost a full month's rent, to toss a couple of things. Because we wanted to be able to upgrade our space, you know? And then, like, half of the stuff we had was freaking broken because we got, like, cheap furniture when we first moved in, 3 years ago, because it was our very first apartment. We didn't know what the frick we were doing. And at the time we moved in, we aren't making the money that we are now. So we weren't able to afford like the best of the best stuff. And at the end of the day, that's life. Everybody has like cheap stuff that they get, in your starter apartment. Like, you got to have those humble beginnings. So like, our kitchen table was freaking like messed up. 3 of the chairs had broken and you get 4. Like, it was literally crazy. So we were getting rid of our TV stand and what was it? The table, the chairs. I was getting rid of a desk in my room because I didn't want that desk anymore. And then our couch, because I definitely wanted a new couch. So we were like, all right, F it. We are not about to literally pay a whole month's rent for these people to do junk removal when I feel like we could do it ourselves. So to save coin, I'm like, I can do this, right? Like, I've moved multiple times in my life. I've been in several apartments, lived with my granny for a little bit. Like, I've helped my dad out with moves. I feel like I can do this, right? So I feel like half of the job is already done. They moved all of the stuff we're keeping to the new unit. So now we got to get rid of this stuff that we don't want. So I decided, hey, let's go to freaking U-Haul, right? Rent a truck. Because that's literally going to be like $50 compared to literally 1 month's rent for junk removal service. And then we can get the U-Haul, right? Bring it back to the crib. And then put all of the stuff that we want to do junk removal and get rid of into the U-Haul ourselves, take it up to Salvation Army and donate it. So that was the plan, right? Well, honestly, I feel like I might have like overdid it, right? Tried to be overachiever boots with a lot of the things that I planned for that evening because it was literally a disaster. First of all, trying to get the TV stand out was like crazy because it's freaking heavy. So we were kind of like dragging it against the concrete, making a lot of noise, and that was quite embarrassing. But like, it is what it is, you know what I mean? I don't got time to fill away. I gotta do what I gotta do and get the frick out of here, So we had to drag that across the pavement onto the U-Haul. And then when it came time to moving the table, that was pretty like easy. But then it came time for the couch. I had a oversized 2-piece sectional. One of the ends had a chase on it, right? And I did not know that it was really that difficult to get that out of the door, especially because of the way that the front door is angled with like a wall that was kind of like blocking the full access to the front door. It was literally insane. Like, we kind of had to like turn the couch sideways to like get it past the wall and then the other side again to get it through the door. I don't even know how to begin to really like explain how difficult this was and like the angle in which we had to do this, but it was literally the fight of our lives. Like, trying to pick up the 2 sectionals and get it through there. I'm like, how did they even get it in here in the first place? You know what I mean? How did the workers, when they brought this couch a couple years ago, get it in here? And then I'm again like, questioning my decision. I'm like, maybe I should have paid all those bands, right? Maybe I should have paid that couple stacks, that several hundred dollar stack, that price, because I would rather be rotted financially for the rest of the month than deal with this. Like, it was crazy. So in the end, we were able to get one part of the sectional through the front door and onto the truck, but the other part of the sectional would not go through the front door. So we had to open the patio door. Luckily, we were on the bottom floor at that unit, right? push it through the patio door. And then we're like, okay, now it's in the backyard. Maybe I can like drive the U-Haul around to the backyard, put the piece of the sofa on the U-Haul. Turns out you can't really drive the U-Haul back there because there's a bunch of trees in the way. There's literally nowhere for you to like get a car through those trees to get a truck back there. So I'm like, dang. So we're just gonna have to like carry this piece of sectional by hand from the back of the apartment building all the way around to the front. And like on top of that, our unit was kind of like in the middle of the building. So we had to like walk it and drag it past like several people's like back doors to get it around to the front of the building. So, that was humiliating, but whatever. Then on top of that, it was literally sucky because the grass was wet and muddy out there. And it was extremely, extremely difficult dragging a piece of sectional through a grassy backyard around a building. And then on top of that, like at that point, I was so literally physically exhausted down, like so freaking tired and dehydrated and hungry that I really wasn't of much use to help Juwan at that point. So he was like carrying the couch for the most part, and I was just kind of like trying to hold on to it the best that I could. And then I was able to back the U-Haul up, right? So then we could get the other part of the sectional onto the truck. So that was literally treacherous. And then once we were able to load everything onto the truck, then we're like, okay, we're going to go to Salvation Army. We got to hurry up and be quick because they close soon. And on top of that, my feet were literally barking because for some reason I decided to do my moving day with Crocs on, knowing that I had plantar fasciitis and a literal freaking ankle sprain from a couple years ago that like still it feels like it hasn't fully healed. You know what I mean? Like no ankle support, no proper shoe support on, like hauling couches, hauling TV stands, doing the most. Like, why did I put myself through this? Questioning every life decision I've ever made at that point. So then we're like, okay, we're going to go to, like I said, go to Salvation Army. But mind you, I had made an appointment for the Xfinity technician to come out to the new unit to set up the Wi-Fi, because since I'm moving on Friday and I have to work from home and I have to work on Monday, I would ideally like my Wi-Fi to be set up as soon as possible on moving day. And normally with Xfinity, you can like set your Wi-Fi up yourself and it's relatively easy. But when we first moved to the old unit, I wasn't able to figure it out. And I'm like, I don't want to take like any chances of like me trying to do this and it doesn't work. So I may as well just like pay the little extra coin and have the technician come out. Then that's when I get a message. It was like, oh, your Xfinity technician is like here. I'm like, this is just great. Like, we literally have a U-Haul full of stuff that we need to get to Salvation Army before they close at 6. And I was trying to tell Juwan, like, we need to hurry up so we can go there and come back before the Wi-Fi guy gets here. And of course, the Wi-Fi guy is here now. I'm like, oh my God. So then we drive the U-Haul over to the new unit. Because for those who don't know, I live in the same apartment complex. I just moved to a upgraded unit. So my previous unit was downstairs. The new unit is upstairs. And it happens to be coincidentally at the building next door. So I'm like, okay, great. We go over to the new unit. I'm looking around. I'm like, I don't see an Xfinity like Comcast truck nowhere. Like, why is the text that I got saying that the person is here when I don't see him? So now we're just like waiting and waiting. And I'm like, dude, I could literally be like at Salvation Army right now. So like, what's going on? And then eventually he shows up. So I, go with him to go upstairs to lead him to the new unit. And then I'm like, oh yeah. So like, I'm going to get like new, equipment, right? Like a new modem. And he was like, oh no, it says that you're keeping your equipment. And I'm like, dang, I don't remember doing that, but okay. So he goes to like set up the equipment. And then that's when me and my boyfriend are kind of just like sitting on the stairs, like just waiting around for him to finish so we can go to Salvation Army. And Juwan's like getting impatient. And he's like, man, like, does this guy really need us? Like, can't we just leave him here? first of all, why would I want to leave this strange man and just be like, okay, let yourself out? Like, why would I want to leave him here? Like, I don't like the idea of a stranger, even if he's like Xfinity worker, just leaving him here to go to the Salvation Army. But Juan's like, just ask him if he still needs us. So I go to ask him, and then the guy's like, no, you can just give me 5 minutes. I'll be done. So I'm like, he said, give him 5 minutes. So we're waiting and waiting. And in the end, he's like, oh, actually, you do need new equipment. I'm like, what the freak? Yeah, that'd be great. Because I really felt like the way that our service was acting up, I wanted a new modem anyway. That modem, I'm pretty sure was old. So I'm like, great. So then now he's like, okay, this is going to take me a little bit longer because you're getting a new modem. So give me about 20 minutes. And I'm like, God dang, we don't really have 20 minutes right now, dude. Like, I have to go. So after waiting and waiting and waiting for the Xfinity guy to finish up, finally he finishes up. He sets up the new Wi-Fi and we're like, great. So then we go to Salvation Army and my boyfriend has me drive the U-Haul because the way that the U-Haul is set up is extremely tight. The seat does not allow you a lot of room and, my boyfriend's a little bit bigger. So he was like, I'd rather you drive the truck and then I'll follow you in my car. So here I am driving this big old freaking U-Haul, the biggest truck I've ever driven in my life, just trying not to, hit anybody. But at the end of the day, I'm still an impeccable driver regardless. So I thugged it out, you know what I mean? We go to Salvation Army and I'm like, what are the odds that these people don't accept this stuff, right? Because then, like, while we're waiting on the Wi-Fi guy, I like gave myself anxiety because I like looked up like the Salvation Army on the website to make sure what time they closed. And then I went on their website and it was like, we don't accept TV stands. We don't accept this, this, and this. And I'm like, what if they don't accept any of the stuff I have? What am I going to do then? Like, I don't have a plan B to get rid of this stuff. And I don't have the coin that they're asking for. Or really, I don't want to pay the coin that they're asking for to be able to remove all of this junk. Because I literally just paid for rent for the days that I stayed at my old place and the rent for the rest of the month for the new place. I'm not made of freaking money. Okay, so I was panicking. I'm not even gonna lie. I was panicking a bit, but ended up working out. Once we got to Salvation Army, they took everything. We're like, yes, clutch, period, right. So then we go back to the, the U-Haul place. We return the U-Haul, and then we go back to the new house. Mind you, there is still stuff at the old house, but we don't have to give them the keys back to the old house for like another, 5 days we had. So at that point, me and my boyfriend were so exhausted. We were like, look, we'll get the rest of the few things that we have at the old place that we didn't have like the movers move, over the next couple of days. Like I said, I still had laundry over there and everything. And it was just a mess. But like, we were just so ready to lay down. So then I'm like, okay, speaking of laying down, surprise. I ended up getting rid of all of my sheets because they were literally freaking ratted and rotted because like I said, they were cheap, starter teens. And my mom got me good quality sheets, but I was supposed to go over her house to go get them. But at this point, my literal head is spinning. My feet are throbbing and feel like they're literally going to break off like a brass doll and walk away on their own because that's how badly they hurt. And I'm supposed to go back out and go all the way to my mom's house and get the sheets that she bought me to make my bed so I can sleep tonight. Hegs nah. So I end up doing an order and I get some sheets delivered and a new comforter delivered because our old comforter was like literally done for. And we're able to go to sleep. Then the next day, my mom came over and my sister came over. They helped me clean up. Shout out to y'all because, oh my gosh, like, if you're not cleaning your new unit before you move in, like, what are you doing? You know what I mean? Like, my sister vacuumed everything, sprayed, because, like, we had, like, a couple of ants in the new unit. And I'm like, the freak? Like, I'm not about to play that. So thankfully, that's fine. It's springtime after all, so you're going to see ants sometimes. Yeah. cleaned the showers, wiped everything down. And my mom was just like, okay, like I'm feeling good, because like I got a new dishwasher in this unit. And she said, from what she could tell, all the cabinets are also new. And I have a new microwave and a new fridge. So she was feeling really good about the cleanup on that and everything. And yeah, so that was my crazy, treacherous moving weekend. It may not sound like a lot, but to me, it really was. Like, I went through the gags, and I don't know. And I honestly feel like something needs to be said about like the inflation and like the prices that these people are charging for these moving services. Like, bro, what? That's crazy. You want like $600 just to move a couple things? Just to get rid of a couple things? I think it was like gonna be even more than that. I don't know. But I wasn't feeling that quote. I was not feeling that quote. And it was like around the same for around the same price for multiple places that we called. So yeah, 0 out of 10 would not recommend, doing moving on your own at all, right? Like, I guess I could have been a lot more prepared, but it is what it is, and it's over with. So we're here. But yeah, so other than that, I just been chilling. Like I said, I still have been posting on my coloring account. If you're not following me on there, what are you doing? It's at Coloring with Kristen on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. I've been litty over there, and I've just been like really enjoying my new office space because I wanted to be really intentional about like making this space even more cozy than my last office. And I got a 2-person desk so that way I can have room to work and have room to color. So if you want to see that, I did a desk tour over on my coloring YouTube channel. So you can like take a closer look at like how I set everything up with that. It's really cute and cozy. So yeah, that's about it. All I got. That's about what? That's about all I got for this week. Thank you so much, guys, for listening. I really appreciate it. And like I said at the beginning of the episode, make sure you like if you're watching on YouTube, comment down below, and subscribe. And listening on Spotify and Apple, rate that 5 stars, leave a review. And with that, I'll see you guys next week. Bye.
Phone calls, I make rich look richer. Save your breath, baby, I'm not going home with y'all.